102.1 FM. The future is now.
Do you know bad production can kill a great content idea?
Do you want to have a photo shoot, audio production, or do you need a professional voiceover artist?
Do you simply want unmatched cinematography, video production, or just event coverage, such as weddings, birthdays, or burials?
Or do you need a space for meetings or conferences? All these are possible with High Impact Studios. Don't bring down your creativity, let's help you take it high.
And out of this world with our state-of-the-art equipment and first-class studio space.
We give you the quality you deserve at the best rate.
For more details, call 0706 393 5694 or 0915 958 1881. High Impact Studios, the future.
High Impact Radio, 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Hello and welcome to On Record, where every word matters on High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Olumide Shokoya. On the program, we discuss actions and actions of government, ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as business and health affairs that shape our worldview. The program also encapsulates personalities and institutions that make decisions that affect the lives of the people one way or the other. And of course, we avail you, our listener, the opportunity of calling into the program and ask questions from our guest on the topic of discussion for the day. Once again, welcome to On Record, where everyone matters. Now, a candid reflection on the political landscape in Nigeria shows that while the country has enjoyed democracy, stable democracy since 1999, it lacks a functional system that genuinely supports and facilitates youth participation in decision-making spaces. Now, a growing sense of political polarization and a hostile nature of social media have significantly dampened young people's interest in politics. Now, the younger generation increasingly perceives politics as a divisive arena rather than a platform, for a respectable debate. Now, youth engagement in political processes is a critical indicator of the health and sustainability of democratic governance. However, Nigeria has witnessed a surge in youth activism, particularly following the NSAS protest of 2020. Now, this movement, which protested police brutality, catalyzed increased youth involvement in politics, of course, reigniting a sense of agency among Nigerians' younger population. Now, despite this growing interest, Nigerian youth continue to face significant challenges, including political violence, vote manipulation, and systemic barriers that hinder their full participation. These challenges are indicators of democratic decline, as exclusion of young voices weaken the representatives and legitimacy of the political system. Now, in a moment, we will open the phone lines. That's 0700 1021 1021, 0700 1021 1021. In the meantime, you can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018, 0907 224 5018. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. So we'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll start with the program. Stay tuned.
Wake up! Get ready to start your day off right with the most exciting breakfast show.
Join us every weekday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. for the best mix of news updates, weather forecasts, trending stories, and fun.
Our dynamic hosts, Sarah Owusu Ansa, Olumide Shokoya, and Vivian Oguche will keep you entertained and informed with the latest updates, trending topics, and hilarious banter.
Play exciting games, win amazing prizes, and enjoy special guest interviews. So set your alarm clocks and tune into High Impact TV for the ultimate breakfast show experience.
Don't miss out on the fun. The Breakfast Cafe, starting your day off right.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Welcome back to On the Record, where every word matters on High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Olumide Shokoya. Don't forget that we're live on YouTube and on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. To join the discussion, you can call 0700 1021 1021. 0700 1021 1021. You can also send WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018. 0907 224 5018. The topic for the day is the future of politics. Quite interesting. The future of politics, assessing youth participation and inclusion. Joining us via phone call live is Femi Adeyeye. He is a political activist. So glad to have you once again on record. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you very much. Only that you didn't have the fact that I'm also a young person.
Yes, he is a young political activist, a youth political activist. Thank you very much. You know, I've heard this saying, when I was in primary school, we've always been hearing the children or the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, but I've never quite understood in practical sense what that means. In Nigeria, the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. I mean, even when I was still in school, Buhari was at the point, Buhari was the head of state or something, and only to grow up again and still find Buhari, no offense, being the president. So I began to wonder that what does it mean to actually be the leaders of tomorrow? So in a layman's word, in layman's term, what role do young people play in shaping the future of politics in Nigeria today?
Yeah, yes. Your question, starting from, probing the meaning of being leaders of tomorrow. Is, maybe those who actually catch that phrase, they understand that tomorrow will never come. Yes, and that the ruling class of this country. So what that tomorrow is just like you waiting for that little to Christian brothers. It's like you waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ. So and that is why it continues, you are the leaders of tomorrow. The man who was around as far back 1983, that you will be the leaders of tomorrow. But one thing we must understand is that it was not like this before. With the benefit of insight that we have as political activists, go through the history of how young people have always, stood their ground on political issues in this country. The people who ran country from post-independence, in fact pre-independence and post-independence, are young people. The man who raised the vision for the independence of Nigeria, Anthony Enahoro, Anthony Enahoro, was just 29 at that time. Yakubu Gowon, when he became the head of state, he was also, I think, barely 30 years old. I'm not sure he was even married at that time. They had to just arrange some kind of marriage for him, so that because it didn't make sense that the head of state of the whole country to have a wife, So that was done. Moving, towards the First Republic, Second Republic, we were all young people. I was talking to a friend.
Femi Adeyeye, if I may comment, sorry to cut you short. I don't know whether you're a bit far away from the mic, but can you be more audible so that we can hear you clearly?
Okay.
Yes.
What about now?
Yes. Okay. We'll manage that.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that young people have actually been participating in what find their future. They've been participating. I'm not part of that. Those who believe that young people are not participating. Yeah, because how do you explain that the largest demography in our population today, which is young people, are not participating in what determines their life? It's not possible. What is different, or what we must interrogate at this time, is what is the extent and the quality of their participation. Do you get it? Because we have young people. Okay, the people who steal ballot boxes, who snatch ballot boxes, who are they are youth. Those who abuse each other for politicians, they are young people. Those who kill for politicians are young people. I've never seen an old man, maybe caught on tape, helping all these politicians to share money during election day. I've not seen anyone. I've not seen an old man snatch ballot box. I don't think he even has the legs to run, after snatching the ballot box. So it is the extent and the quality of the participation of the young people that I think we need to interrogate. Because even the last election, INEC released, the data from INEC showed that young people registered more. In fact, students had the highest number of voter registration. Do you get it?
Yes.
But then, did that translate into the yearnings of these students or the young people? I think, and I don't think yes will be the answer. So we just need to understand that it has not always been like this, that young people are taking the back seat in political affairs in the country. It is the quality and the essence, the extent of their participation that we need to, heighten at this time. In fact, it's an ongoing conversation on how young people can understand that they have a role to play, and that role must be guided by the correct ideology, and not just for the fact that they are young people.
This thing you mentioned earlier on, that you won't see an old man rather, or an old woman, fighting, and it's an eye opener, because if you look at it, ballot snatching and all these things, it usually occurs among the youths. When you see people destroying ballot paper, it's always the youth.
And that is also participation. It's also participation. So, but how then do we channel our energy away from the vices, all those things that they ruling elite use young people to do? You understand? How then do we change away from that trajectory, and we start using this energy that we have, we start using it for ourselves?
Yes.
Just imagine a young person is born tomorrow. It is ideal, it makes sense that young people should support that young person. All our knowledge of IT, all our knowledge of how to organize and all of that, we use it to support that young person. But I don't think that's the case in Nigeria as of today, because this young person does not have money to share around. This not too young to run bill that was passed at that time.
Yes.
I used to tell people, I say, yes, it's very correct that you may be, eligible to run, not too young to run, but you can be too broke to run. So the opportunities that are not there for the young people to at least be able to levitate or to be on a fair playground with others would make other young people to abandon that person and then go for an old man who does not even care about them. So it's time that the young people of this country understand that the role that they've been playing needs to be discussed, so that we can now start playing quality role in what defines our lives and our future.
There's this thing people say that most Nigerian youth are keypad warriors, that they are vocal, their activism is always online. They do so many things online, but when it comes to the real deal, you won't see them. And sometimes you could attribute that to voter apathy. Some people feel, oh, my vote doesn't count. At the end of the day, it's who they want that would enter. So how can youth participation in politics be increased and, of course, sustained?
Yes, it has a lot to do with even the system itself, and it's also the young people who would correct that system. I feel strongly that those who are already at the passion lounge of life should not be the ones discussing reforms or anything that has to do with electoralism. People who are already living the world will still be the ones to sit at the table to determine what happens to our electoral act, what happens to, those things are just, I was in a meeting, was it 2 months ago with some senators. So became senators and House of Representatives. And so they were discussing, another amendment to the Electoral Act. And I said, the last one that we amended, how far? It has not taken us so far. So are we amending again? And then we get some ideas about electronic voting, diaspora voting. They were so quick to dismiss it. Oh, now what do you mean by diaspora voting? What do you mean by electronic voting? Do you mean even the little beavers or high reps that we said we should bring into our election? It's still not functioning. You are talking about electronic voting. Oh, please drop that idea. They are not thinking very far. You understand, and you can understand because their eyes already is weak and all of that. They are prejudiced to old people. I don't have any problem with old people. I only have a problem with old ideas. So because they are not thinking far, they do not see possibilities into the future. So young people are the ones who would marshal some of those points. If it requires us to first think about it before 2027, we need to, so that at the end of the day, if the system works, this thing you call voters apathy will drop. When you're sure that when you vote, your vote is going to count, you would definitely come out to vote. But when you are so disillusioned about the system and you do not even believe in it, you would come out. Like I said earlier, the data provided shows that young people registered most in the last election. But if you check I don't know how we're going to check that now. The number of people who actually came out on election days to vote, I don't think it's commensurate with the voters and the registration. On the election day, I saw young people who were playing football. We were playing, and
that's usually the norm. On election days, people play football.
Days, you were just playing football, mixing and chilling, things like that. And then after the election, then you come back to say, oh, the country is not working. And all that. So we have a role to play. The system that we also need to change must also, we must also understand that we need to change that system. And like I used to say, age is actually just a political index. It's not an ideology. This is the whole thing we're talking about young people. But in the next 5-10 years, the person who is calling himself young today will not be young anymore. So it is not even about the age itself. It's about the correct ideology that drives you. Because you can have a young person who is, a young person who is foolish. You can have an old person who is wise. You can have then a young person who is wise. So it has practically or little to do with the age, the numbers attached to your biology or whatever. So we need to understand these three things that I've been able to at least touch on, so that young people can understand that everything we're talking about is about them, because we are the largest demography in Africa, not even just in Nigeria. That's the largest. Africa has a median age of, I think, 16 years, which means that 50% of the African population are below 16 years, and another 50% are above 16 years. That's a very young population, and unless that the ebullient energy that comes with that, I think the sky is just the limit, sincerely, for Nigeria and Africa by extension.
I like what you said earlier on. You said you don't have any problem with old people. You just have, the problem is old ideas. I like that. Which brings me to my next question. How can politicians and policymakers, now balance the needs and interest of different age groups?
Yes. Let us say that, let's say that pretending like we are actually for the interest of the people. I would answer that on an ideal ground. But in reality, these guys are not interested in any age group. They're not interested in anybody. Just 2 days ago, veterans of our Nigerian army, they were at, I think, the Army Finance Corps or something like that, to ask for their pension.
Yes, I remember,
yes. Brought tears to my eyes. That these people who have fought for the country using their youthful energy are now still fighting for their pension. It should make anybody cry. You get it? So, and those ones, what would you say about them? They are old people, they are educated, the politicians should also balance them. And these politicians in reality are not concerned about the interest of anybody. Just yesterday, 5 Labour Party House of Rep members
Yes.
defected to the APC. You understand?
Mm.
So whose interest are these serving? And these were young people during rain and sunshine who campaigned for them, LP, stuff, many of those things. But now, people for whom they did all of these things they just moved to the ruling party for their own interest, claiming that for personal conviction they want to move. It shows you that they are not interested in all of these things. But answering it in an ideal state is to say that politics actually is the allocation of resources, of economic resources across all political indices. Indices like age, gender, disability, things like that. That's politics, basically. It is only here that politics is about lying, how to, carpet daggers, gerrymandering, and all of those things. But politics in its real sense is about how to allocate economic resources that you have in a society. So politicians must understand that. And they must also understand that we are running a democracy. And in that democracy, it means that the majority will have their way, while the minority will have their say. Who are the majority in Nigeria today? Young people. So the young people should have their way. Whenever they say, what anything they bring forth should actually, hold sway. But you have a case where a president can just get angry one morning and then say he bans Twitter. Oh, the young people they don't get me this morning. So please let's ban Twitter. Since the time they banned Twitter and when they removed they lifted the ban and they said, they want Twitter to have an office in Nigeria. That's why you have some of the demands. Till today, I don't know. You are a journalist. I don't know if you think Twitter office in Nigeria today. It was just to massage somebody's ego. At that time, when he was also asked about EndSARS, what did he say? He said those young people wanted to chase me out of power. That was what Buhari said. He did not see it as a fight against police brutality. He saw people coming for his office. So those are the kind of people with these kind of ideas you want to discuss interest of the young people with. No, they don't see you like that. They don't see anybody in that lens. In that lens. What they see is actually their own economic interest for their family, for their friends, and what have you. So these are the things that need to change, and young people must understand these things in the real sense, of it, or else we will just keep, moving around circles. 2027 is coming again. I'm so embarrassed that the conversation we are having in Nigeria is about how Peter Obi should go and work with Atiku, how Atiku should work with Peter Obi. That's what young people are discussing. That's what they are discussing. People who, even if they were born in 2000, the so-called Gen Z, by 2027, they are not young anymore. They are 7 years old. But they are discussing how people who are already in their 80s, 70s should come together and then come and lift them again. It's just so embarrassing. It's an aberration. If you ask me, it's so. I don't know how to put it mildly, because it pains me when I see things like that again. It's still happening. As we've not left the one, the left behind. We've not left that one. We've not even gone so far into it. You're already discussing how people should also come in, and some old people who don't even care about you, how they should come again, in 2027 and come and ruin your life. I don't know.
But if you look at it, these old people, they are in a political party, and for a young person basically to say, I want to contest, I want to put myself out there, you have to go under the umbrella of a political party. And in these political parties, we have the caucuses, we have the whatnot, the bigwigs, the babasales, the godfathers who control these political parties, who readily will not give you that opportunity. I mean, if you take the case of what happened during the governorship election, it was said that even Peter Obi left the PDP to the Labour Party. Rhodes Viver also was in the PDP. He left, he had a tussle with Jan Doe then, and he left and went to the Labour Party. So that is what is actually really, going on in these political parties. So it's quite hard to say a young person wants to put himself out there. How many supporters will he get? And all that. So how can we remedy this? Is it even my question now is, how risky will it be to be a one-man party? Take for instance, person A wants to contest on his own. Would he get the needed support, I mean, for himself alone, if he decides to stand on his own?
For now, Nigeria, the Electoral Act of Nigeria does not recognize independent candidates.
Yes.
So that's also a problem. People should not be. Actually, it shouldn't be a problem, but it is because we run political parties, systems that are bereft of ideology. That is why you have. That's why it's going to be a problem. Do you understand? So for now, that's not the case. But we keep pushing for things like this, hoping that one day it would come into fruition. But to put it straight is to say that the young people also, like I said, you are the majority. So why then do you have to go and queue behind old people to ask them? I hear things like that many a times. You hear things like, they won't give us. They won't give us the opportunity. So people I mentioned at the beginning of my conversation here, they did not ask for opportunity. They were old people too in their era. The Nnamdi Azikiwe of this world, the Abbas Macaulay of this world, Anthony Dauro, Bola Ige, Awolowo. They were old people then around, their time. Yakubu Gowon, when he became head of state, I just said he was barely 30 years old. There were old people there, so they didn't go to them to say, Madam Saleh, can I go? Please bless me. Power is taken, you take it. So if you're young, why can't we as young people in this country hold a serious conference? And I'm not just talking about conferences where we get lodged in an air-conditioned space and then realize ourselves. We can hold be that virtual or anything, we can hold something where we speak sense into our heads. That you don't go as a majority, that you have a strength, there is strength in numbers, and then you go cap in hand to then start begging, people, please, allow us now, allow the young people. I've been in conferences where when they talk about people who are weak, I find it very, confusing anyway. But when they talk about people who are weak or, inclusion and things like that, they talk about women, politics, or they are underrepresented. They talk about people living with disabilities, and then they talk about the youth. Now, how does that even sound? That youth who have energy, youth who are in the majority, they are also still being classified as underrepresented people. This thing should make anybody, should make you cringe. That you have the population, but then you are still being classified as underrepresented just because you've not found your feet. You don't even understand what your role is. So these are the things that I think should determine it. So young people must hold the serious conference amongst ourselves. We must understand our role. We must understand how we are going to move in this political party. Even these old people you're talking about, that they are not godfathers. The people who made them godfathers are the young people. Yes. The people who made them godfathers are the young people. They are the ones who become SSA, SA. That's now what young people in this country are so interested in now. They are not interested in, contesting and winning. They just want to be the SA to one man who does not know how to handle his phone so that they can help him hold his phone. They want to help him hold power bank. Help him arrange girls. I know these things because I know many of them. So this SSA syndrome is what is pushing many of these young people. So you are the ones who make them godfathers. What do you have to do? They need to withdraw your service from them. Young people must understand that to get power, You withdraw what you have, what you are bringing to the table that you are making, that's making these people godfathers. Withdraw your services. I said something earlier about young people being the ones snatching ballot boxes and all of that. Withdraw that service. Don't snatch ballot boxes again. Being political assassins and all of these things. Withdraw that service. Even if that's done, they don't have any power. These people you're talking about, these godfathers, they don't have anything. You are the ones they rely on. You are the ones they pay so that you can go and insult everybody on Twitter, and to push some narrative for them. Withdraw that service from them. And then we are good. And then we start educating ourselves on the current ideology and how. So for now, I think withdrawing these services that young people give to these people is the first port of call. And I think young people should actually look into that.
All right, thank you very much. Let's quickly go on a short break, and when we come back, we continue with the program.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM.
Tease your taste buds from a world of delectable choices. High Impact Planet. Fun just got real.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Welcome to the high side of life. Join us every day at High Impact 102.1 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
I just want to be here.
High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now. High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now. High Impact Radio 102.1 FM. The future is now.
Welcome back. This is On Record, where every word matters on High Impact 102.1 FM. I am Olumide. Don't forget that you can also call in. You can take part in the discussion by calling 0700 1021 1021, 0700 1021 1021, or you can send the WhatsApp messages to 0907 224 5018, 0907 224 5018. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook at High Impact 102.1 FM. We're still discussing the future of politics, assessing youth participation and inclusion with Femi Adeyeye. He is a young political activist. Now, I like what you said earlier on. Let the youth withdraw their services first. That's a good step. Withdraw your services from these people. That's one of the first steps you can take to take back take back what you believe is yours. Now, so my question now is, how can education system, how can it be designed to promote civic engagement and political participation among young people?
Yes, it all goes back to what the system allows. But we can also determine, when we understand our powers, we can also determine what should be in the system. So, but what you have today is an educational system that does not make people. Please confirm to me if I'm audible enough.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So we have an educational system that does not provide solutions. It does not make people solution providers. It does not make them critical thinkers. Because if that's not the case, some of the conversations we get on Twitter these days, because I'm a frequent Twitter person, so I sometimes look at what's going on. You see people who have gone to school, in fact, down to PhD level, then they spew some of those very backward, the tribal bigotry, sometimes very narcissistic, tweets out there, and then you're like, wow, and this person is educated. You get it? So,
yes.
That is what the educational system presently has. You don't just come into the school, study, cram in most cases, drop down what you have crammed, la cram, or you say la cram, la pour, la graduate, la to the society, and then you become a man at no time. That's what the system is saying. But you can change that. And it starts from even the ruling class and understanding that education is a powerful tool to change society. If we have an educated population, and to be so difficult to toast them around.
Yes.
Like they do these days. But the ruling class, like I said, they are interested in toasting them around. So that every 4 years they come and then they'll say, okay, take this money, vote for us, and that will be the case. So that's why they are not interested in educating the people. That's why you can see that school fees are going up, people are dropping out of school, and many things are happening. And I'm not saying schooling is the only way of education. I'm not saying that at all, because in fact, come to realize that the more schooled people are these days, the more backward they are in some of the things.
Yes.
No offensive. So education has a role to play. And some of those things we even do on radio, like I'm doing now, it's also an educational material that people can listen to and then understand how we need to move. Yes, so I agree. Education has a role to play. Young people must key into, educational platforms, understand how, in fact, first of all, even understand who are we, where are we coming from as a people, what definitely should be the goal, or what should be the Nigerian dream, just like you have the American dream. You understand? An average American wakes up in the morning, I used to say it like a joke, and then they God bless America. It's even on their currency. But the Nigerian here wakes up in the morning and maybe he's first going to make us on NEPA, because he's left in a very off space. Give NEPA serious cost. When he's done with that, he will remember to drop another barrage of courses on it, and then remember as governor. Because you can't force patriotism when people are not getting anything from the system. You cannot force them to be patriots. That's the truth. The average American I just mentioned now, who is getting something, however little, from the system in the form of social security, and that's why we quote unquote be a patriot. You understand? So all these educational things are very important. Young people must key into it, and then we can have a country that we all dream about.
All right. Now, to encourage youth participation, I mean, we can start from the grassroots. So my next question is, how can we, if you say, okay, fine, go into a major political party and all that, running for governor, running for president might be a long shot. Why not? Let's start from the grassroots, the local government chairman, the caretaker, this and that. How, can we promote youth participation from the grassroots? Because that's where politics is actually grounded. From the grassroots.
Yeah. Yes. Like I said, I don't think having a political office is actually participation. Not that, okay, I'm participating because I'm contesting to be a chairman. So I've said it earlier that youth participate. They participate. Nobody. I don't think discussion should be around. I'm talking about the extent and the quality of their participation. Some already relegated themselves to become estates, like I said earlier. So that's the extent of, they have their own limits in their heads already, that they cannot go past this level. some, they don't even see themselves more than the ward level. They just attend the ward meetings. And in fact, you can even applaud them because that is where some of these discussions or some of these discussions, that's where they start from. So yes, so to speak directly to your question about the grassroots engagement, yes, the young people are the ones there. And they are the ones who discuss some of these things. The problem with the conventional political parties, I have a political party, I don't want to go into that, I don't think it's needed. The conventionalism around what we have as political parties in Nigeria today is that discuss whatever you want to discuss at your grassroots level. Let decisions are made is the embodiment, or one place in Adamawa, or one place, even in the UK. We've had a case in 2023 where politicians, all of them flew out of the country to go and hold a meeting in the UK. They cannot discuss in Nigeria again. Now they are traveling to London to go and discuss. And so there's a young guy who is in one Okitipupa ward or one police unit somewhere who thinks that anything he says we don't sway or they would listen to him. He's just deceiving himself. So that's what conventional political parties, that's what they do. But on our own side of the divide, we are very different. Conversations flow from below, grassroots. It is in fact from that place that we choose who's going to run for chairman, who's going to run for councillorship and all of that. And don't forget that this local government autonomy issue is just coming back.
Yes.
And so you may definitely see younger people or young people to put in that bracket who will be running at that level. Before, you don't used to have local government elections. The governor is just going to write names of people and then make them caretaker, committee and what have you. And then when the allocation comes in, you just share them peanuts. Some of them don't even see the governor for 4 years. Many of the local government people, they don't even see the governor that they should be working, in tandem with, in connection with, you understand. But local government autonomy is here, even though it is debated, but it is here. Now young people can seize that opportunity to run at that level. They can run to the governor. There is nothing your governor knows that. I don't think I've seen many of these governors. And then we've seen the extent of what they can do. And we've seen what young people are doing. We have young people who are leading what you call the big four in finance, in tech. And they are not there. They are here in Nigeria from their rooms. They are doing big things across the world. Nigerians. So what then is your governor doing, who has all the security apparatus to himself, who has the state resources to himself? But yeah, there's a young man with just a laptop, but he's doing something big. So why can't that young man compare to the governor? I think I want to understand what that governor has in his head that is now so superlative, so superficial, or so elitist that this young man does not have or cannot do. What's so difficult about governance? It is using people's money, the money, the state resources, to better their lives. There's nothing so rocket science about it. So those are the things. And then young people can contest to be president. You have a president today who I'm not sure he can undo his phone himself. I'm not sure he has an email address. Let's even start by having a young person who can hold his phone, who can tweet, who will not need to have an SSA on media or an SSA who will be working on Twitter for him. With that, at least we have cut the cost of governance in that regard, where you will not have to have 13 people speaking for you. That you, as a young person, like I'm speaking right now, can speak to issues. Let's even start from there. So I don't see any limit. I don't see any limit to what young people in this country can do if we understand some of these things I'm talking about. I don't see any limit.
We really need to have a part 2 of this because we have a whole lot to discuss. But you have been brilliant. This has been an insightful and an engaging discussion. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, it has been a mouthful. It has been an engaging and impactful discussion. The future of politics, assessing youth participation and inclusion with Femi Adeyeye. He is a youth political activist. And this is where we round up today's edition and this edition of On Record, where every word matters. Many thanks for tuning in. Many thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this particular episode or this week's episode, why not tune in next week, same time, same station, High Impact 102.1 FM. Keep watching High Impact TV on Iconsat 42 Degree East. I am Olumide Shokoya. Enjoy the rest of your day.